Ready as you'll ever be?
Yeah.
Roses are red, violets are blue. Oh my wa, Shinderu.
Nice. Nice.
Well, on that note, Happy New Year, everybody, and welcome to episode 32 of Next Gen News Week. Apologies for not having an episode last week, but I didn't have a computer that works. But I do now, and it was fun getting all that put back together. So, but yeah, we're back. We're back for a new year. We have a whole year of episodes for you. God forbid the world doesn't end. But until then, we'll keep bringing you all the fun stuff. Joining me, as always, we're going to start going counterclockwise with Michael on your right, and Richard in your top right, and Steven. And nobody wants to talk, except for Michael.
Hi!
You're probably...
Silent episode.
Yeah, it's all... Yeah, like
Silent
every time
deadly.
somebody wants to talk, it's just a little splash screen with the text, like the old silent films. It's a very long episode. All right, so there is a little bit of housekeeping before we get into the actual news, which we finally have. If you're watching this when it comes out, you're obviously noting that this is not a live episode. We were going to put those on hold for a little bit because I have school starting back soon, and that comes first before everything else. So,
And if you're listening to the audio version, when he refers to housekeeping, there's a little Mexican lady behind us actually tidily cleaning our rooms.
Yeah, she's got her work cut out over here.
Yes. Also, to our audio listeners, I've been really bad about uploading audio episodes, but just know that they're all coming out tomorrow. So, at the time of this, so you're going to have like 10 episodes of content to listen to. It's old news now, but just know that I'm not lazy anymore. So anyway,
No.
Sorry.
Great!
Sorry, yeah. Episodes will be dropping Fridays at 11 a.m. now. We're going to still record on Wednesdays, but that'll give me ample time to get the episodes out.
Been taking fiber, so we're going to be more regular on those.
Yes.
Thank you. Yes. Before we get in the news, though, did y'all do anything exciting for New Year's?
I didn't realize it was New Year's, played Genshin until 2 a.m., and then went to bed.
Sweet. Steven, Richard, y'all do anything?
I probably did something, but nothing memorable.
About the same. I went to go chill. Go ahead.
I binge watched Cobra Kai the day after, but that's about it.
Is it any good?
Yes.
God, it's incredible,
It
man.
is incredible. Yes.
Like, I've been watching all the like Korean shows they recently came out with, and like the acting is like okay, but like I'm just there for the story, really.
Well, all right. So, are you a fan of Karate Kid? It hinges a lot
really
on that.
not. Yeah, I guess
Okay.
so. Yeah.
Well, then if
like
not,
I've seen
then
it, but I'm
then-
just like,
dude, it's like it's awesome. It's got like this new level of drama, but even though I absolutely love the show, it's very soap opera ish.
Yeah.
And
like
then,
there's
like-
like karate gangs.
No,
Like,
they're
aren't those just
dojos. They're
ninjas?
schools. They're not really
Mhm.
gangs. They belong to specific schools
They're
that don't
Pokemon
like one
gyms.
another. Yeah, it's very similar to that. But no, and it's kind of, some of the fights get kind of hokey in an 80ish kind of way. But I mean, it's based on a movie from the 80s, so
Yeah, makes sense.
yeah. If you like Karate Kid, you'll think it's an awesome show. But if you don't, just pass on.
Mhm.
Cool. All right. Well, most of the time last year we had lots of Xbox news, so we always led with Xbox, but we're going to mix it up for Richard, and we're going to start with PlayStation news. Yeah.
We have no news.
Yeah. We're going to start with PlayStation because Sony has officially discontinued the PS4 Pro and
Oh, that.
the old PS4. So,
Wow, it's officially discontinued.
We're gonna start with Sony news. Let's talk
Wow.
about bad news. Bad news for Japan.
what do you want from me? It's in the run of the show that way for a reason.
I'm actually surprised. Although, what was it? It was it a leak or was it just a concept or was a PS2 version of it.
That's a real thing.
That looks so much more awesome than the white console. I'm sorry.
There's a limited edition PS2 version of the PS5 that's not like officially made by Sony, but it's all black with like blue accents on it. It's really cool. But they're only making like 300 of them. They're making 300 of them, and they cost $250 more for the systems, and then the controllers cost $100 for the black.
But are they easier to get?
No, like I said, there's only 300 of them. There's only 300, so you'll never get one. You'll never see it ever. So, but just know that you watch somebody
one right
play
over
with
there.
it.
I'm all right.
Yeah, still waiting. So it's actually really surprising.
Steven had a story recently, right, with the Xbox?
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Steven, tell everyone your story.
So it seemed like Let Go and the Facebook pages are the way to go as far as trying to get a PS5 and everything. There's been a lot of people posting, well, we can meet at a police station. I've got the receipt and everything. So I decided to meet up with a guy for a Series X, and he had the receipt and everything. And on the air of precaution, because I remember when the 360s came out, people were gutting them out, and they were putting bricks in it, clay bricks in them, to match the weight. So when you got home and it didn't turn on, and you moved it around, you could feel that something's loose in there. You take it apart, you got a brick. So just on the air of caution, me and my brother brought our own TV, just a little small TV, and we plugged it up, and things were working fine, and police swooped down on us. Apparently this guy had stole the Xbox Series X, and I was like minutes away from buying stolen merchandise. So I think I'm just going to go ahead and do this the old-fashioned way. I'll wait however long I gotta wait, I guess.
Yep. I mean, like I was telling you in the group chat, it's really a good thing that it happened before you bought it, though, because if you had gotten that Xbox home and then they had got it from you, you wouldn't have got your money back. So at least you were able to save yourself the money bit of it. But all right, so we're 2 out of 4 of us have had a next gen stolen merchandise incident. So Michael, you're next. So
if I just don't buy one, then it can't get stolen.
Yeah.
Big brain right there.
Play lame, play games. That's all. All right, so now let's for the first time. I guess I don't want to say the first time. As we're going into the new year, though, we spent all of last year talking about the Series X, the PS5, and now we're getting into 2021, where it's all about what the hell is Nintendo gonna do. So we're gonna jump through some quick Nintendo stuff because, including a very terrible leak about the Switch Pro. But we'll save that for the end of it. First thing, though, is that Netflix, the conglomerate, massive video streaming company, who recently...
If you haven't heard of them.
Yeah, just in case. We also call them blockbuster killers. But for the longest time, ever since the systems came out, I believe, but there have been Netflix apps for the Wii U and for the 3DS. And now they're shutting down, and they've not even put Netflix on the Switch. And it's kind of upsetting. Not really, because I don't use Netflix, but it's just kind of weird, I should say. Because, like...
To me, it was the most useful thing, especially on the Wii U, because you could use the giant controller as a universal remote and turn on your TV and then just go right there.
Yeah. That's like
it was so convenient.
It's almost worth buying a Wii U just to use it for a TV remote.
I think it was like AirPlay before its time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You could like beam YouTube videos up to it and stuff. It's like it's crazy. But Steven, did you ever download Crunchyroll to your Switch?
Yes, I've got Crunchyroll and I have Funimation.
Okay. So isn't it is it weird to you that like those smaller apps like Crunchyroll show up before like the bigger ones like Netflix?
Not really on my personal opinion because I mean I rarely am on Netflix, and that's just standard from a Wii perspective. Because if I'm looking for animes, it's got to be a last ditch effort to look on Netflix for anime,
Mm-hmm.
and hope that it's on there. And I'm already knowing that it's not going to have everything that I want as far as seasons and anime. Um, but yeah, it is weird from a standpoint. Like I don't understand the monetary values on having the apps on consoles and stuff like that. But it's just weird. You figured they would want to keep up with the times
Mm-hmm.
because they're already lacking in so many other areas. Of course, you know they're in a league of their own, sort of, but it just doesn't make sense for them to be so far behind on something like that.
I don't know. Like it's that every like the PS5 like out the gate came out with Netflix on there. And it's just kind of weird. Like I don't ever use my Switch for streaming purposes, but it's just if I was someone who only had a Switch and no other consoles, I would be really kind of, I wouldn't say disappointed, but kind of let down a little bit that I didn't have that accessibility on there. Richard, anything to add to it?
I don't know. It completely blows me away that people would use a Nintendo to stream on. Yeah, I've always just kind of it's a kid's console, and I don't see many kids binge watching whatever the hell's on that Cobra Kai, So I don't. Um, yeah, I mean I've had a Wii U. I had a Wii. I've got a Switch, but it has never once occurred to me to watch a video on it or anything like that. I mean, I know that's just me, but yeah. So the headline to me is it feels like almost like a no-brainer. I wonder actually how much. Well, before you guys started talking, I would just assume that nobody used it, but there it is.
I take that back. I actually have used my Switch a lot for Hulu because
Really?
it's just in my bedroom. Like I have a first generation 4K TV, and so like the Hulu app's not even supported anymore.
Oh,
So
okay.
if I want to watch something like some kind of this terrible show, I'm not even going to try to talk about half the crap that ends up on that Hulu account. But like it's just there. Like because my Series X is in a different room. PC's in a different room, and so it works itself out.
Plus, I tell you, I don't like to run any console I have for anything other than just gameplay. It's probably one of those weird like OCD concerns. It's just I don't want to use it for something that it's not built for because I don't want to like burn it out. And I know that sounds like horribly old manish, but yeah, I just there's that too. So. But like all my TVs in my house, they all have that built-in Roku. So I mean, there's no reason to really.
Maybe the Switch Pro will have a Roku built into it. We won't have these problems anymore.
Sony bought Crunchyroll, didn't they?
Yes, they just recently acquired Crunchyroll.
So is that Crunchyroll's paid, isn't it? Isn't that a paid subscription?
I think it's got a free and a paid.
Yeah, they got a free. It just limits what you can watch, and you got ads.
Is it free to PlayStation Plus subscribers?
No,
That's a good question.
I don't think the deal's officially gone through.
You can watch
yet.
it for free on like your PC, and if you want to use their apps, you'll need a subscription, unless they've changed it recently. That's the way it used to be.
Oh, okay.
I don't think the deal has officially gone through yet. Like, I think it's one of those things, kind of like when Disney was buying Fox, where they said, hey, we're buying Fox, but it's going to take a while for it to actually go through because of all the legal stuff that goes with it. I think it's kind of like that. Or
gotcha.
Xbox buying Bethesda. Or like Nintendo acquiring Next Level Games. That was a good segue. Love it.
Yeah.
There you go.
Next Level Games, they haven't really put out like a ton of stuff, but I actually think that the quality of stuff they put out is really good. Most recently, Luigi's Mansion 3, Mario Tennis Aces. They also do a lot of the sports games too, so like Mario Strikers, for the GameCube and the Wii, if you've ever played the best sports game that Mario's ever been in. Donkey Kong Country, Tropical Freeze, and I think Donkey Kong Country Returns on the Wii. I think those are their like big games. So Nintendo's acquiring them directly so that way they can help fund them and have better communication and I guess give them more of their IPs to boast and stuff. So maybe we're finally going to get a good Star Fox game, or maybe F-Zero is going to come back in some capacity. Just saying. Just saying. You know, it's possible. And then we got this Nintendo Direct leak, which this actually, I've known about this for a few days, but I wasn't going to talk about it because I know it's fake. But then I heard that there were a lot of big news outlets that were covering this, and I want to just kind of pick through this like a fine Thanksgiving turkey the day after, and just kind of pull out all the stuff that's really funny but also kind of interesting that it's here. So on your screen right now, because this is, like I said, video on demand version, and I have this power to do this. Sorry, audio listeners only. You are actually going to be looking at the screenshots from this Direct. So on the top, Nintendo Switch Pro coming out on April 23rd, which that is way too early. There's no way that this is going to come out in 3 months from now with no prior announcement of it.
Watching tomorrow.
Yeah. 4K TV support, Dock Pro, Joy-Con Pros, Bluetooth audio support, an HD screen, 256 gigabytes of storage. This is where the typos really start ruining this this Direct leak. NVIDIA DLLS 2.0, which is actually supposed to be NVIDIA DLSS, which is their upscaling technology to make games like Cyberpunk look good whenever you don't have the hardware to actually support it. And the price of it is $3,995. Richard, would you buy a Nintendo Switch Pro for $3,995?
Yeah, I'm not going to spend more than $100 on it.
Oof.
Not this early. I mean, I feel like I just bought the Switch.
Switch is,
I know it's probably
5 years old.
Wow.
Are you sure?
2017, 2018, 2019, 2020, 2021.
Well, no, it came out in 2017.
It did.
So you wouldn't start counting until 18, 19, 20, 20. No, it's 4. It'd be
Either way.
4 years in. See, that's to me, that's a half-life for a console. Consoles last a good 8 years.
Yeah.
Typically.
And I mean, 4 years in was about the time that the PS4 Pro and the Xbox One X came out.
Okay, hold on. That brings up a good point, and this is the problem that I have with Nintendo. Now, with your PS Pro and your, what was the Xbox called?
The One X.
The One X. Okay, now, they were updated consoles. They featured, better quality graphics and stuff like that, but they didn't paint you into a corner and say, well, we're going to release these games, but now they're only going to play on these specific
Simpsons.
specific systems. And that's what Nintendo does, though. They'll release this Pro, and it's going to be like, oh, it's a step above the Switch, but you have to have it, because if you don't, you can't play Breath of the Wild 2. And that's one of the reasons why I dislike Nintendo.
Well, I mean...
Because they've done that in the past. They did that with the 3DS, the new 3DS.
Yeah,
that's true.
I don't know. I think they probably will do it differently because, I mean, if you think about it, the Nintendo Switch in itself was kind of like a Wii U Pro, and the Breath of the Wild launched on both of them. We'll actually get more into that bit about how the games are going to release a little bit down here. But, okay, real quick, going through these games, I'm going to name off all the first-party ones, and you tell me one out of these games that you wish is actually real. It's coming out this year. Nintendo World Park Tour, which I assume is like a Nintendo Land sequel. Mario Kart 9, Splatoon 3, Mario Odyssey 2, Fire Emblem Echoes, Path of Radiance, and Metroid Resurgence. Steven, if you had to pick one of those games that make it real for 2020.
Metroid, hands down.
But do you want it to be like a 2D old school Metroid game?
It'd be nice if they could do something 2D, 3D, switch it up and make for a new concept. I don't know if they did that in like the Primes, because I've never played any of the Primes, but
they did that with
it was Samus Returns most recently.
Yeah, Samus Returns. Well, the one that was for I thought it was the Wii U, that no one, Metroid Other M. Had that
Okay.
kind of flip flop sort of thing, and everyone hated it.
Well,
I
I'm right on
personally
that.
haven't even played it. I have it, but just everybody hated it.
Right. Michael, how about you?
Still Metroid Resurgence. I don't think there's a need for Splatoon 3. Like, I would welcome it, but I feel like the infrastructure is there. Just add to it.
Mm-hmm.
You know, why leave that market there? I mean, just
Bring it
add
back
to
from the
it.
dead.
Yeah, add another DLC content. You know, bring back the whatchamacallits, the the little contest or whatever.
Yeah.
Add some more clothing items. Like, you don't need to make a whole nother game.
Yeah. All right, Richard, how about you?
Punch Out 4.
That's not on the first page of the list.
It's a list of fake games, Mitch. So that's my fake game that I would wish was real.
Okay, fair. Fair enough.
No, I mean I would. I don't want a Metroid Prime 4 if that's even the name for it. I feel like it's been too damn long. Like, when was the Metroid
That's
Prime
true.
series? It's too much of a gap. Like, reboot it, just do something. Don't
Yeah.
give me a sequel to a
I'm with that.
franchise
Yeah.
that was like 15 years ago.
Just call it Metroid Resurgence. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah, don't. Yeah,
Let me
no
see that.
Metroid Prime 4. Don't
Yeah. If I had to pick one, I don't know. I would like Michael. I would welcome Splatoon 3 if they made it. I don't know how they'd make it better, but like Mario Odyssey 2, I feel like we're almost due for that to happen because it's kind of be like Mario Galaxy where we'll get 2 of them in the whole Switch's life cycle. I do think the Switch should get its own Mario Kart game instead of just sucking the life out of Mario Kart 8 from the Wii U. But I'm ready for a new Fire Emblem. So Fire Emblem Echoes Path of Radiance sounds like it's right up my alley. So, and I'm saying that as someone who still has 3 other campaigns to go through in 3 houses before I'm even done with it. But
I've not even started 3 houses.
oh my gosh, I don't know. Out of that little chunk though, like I'd take any one of them. I mean, I've never been a big Metroid fan, but I'm always looking for anything to get me into it. So.
Yeah, but dude, you love Nintendo, man. You really do. You
somebody,
love Nintendo.
As somebody who literally can't seem to force himself to play Age of Calamity, I mean, there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I just can't make myself play games right now. Like, I'm even having a hard time playing Cyberpunk. It's, I just got my computer fixed. But okay, second page, third-party software, Kingdom Hearts Destiny's Embrace, never heard of it. Bayonetta 3, which hopefully should come out this year. Shin Megami Tensei 5, that's confirmed to come out this year. And then there's a big list of games that are all set to come out on April 23rd, the same day as the Switch Pro. And they're, again, all coming out except for Far Cry 6. But Assassin's Creed Valhalla, Watch Dogs Legion, Resident Evil 2, and Resident Evil 3 are coming out the same day. And GTA 5 are all coming out on April 23rd, according to this leak. They'll play natively on Switch Pro, but a cloud version of them available on the regular Switch.
No, I don't even want to see that shit try to be played on a Switch Pro, no matter what kind of specs it's got. Like, when the regular Switch have had several other things ported over, but like not even fucking Skyrim plays right.
Yep.
Like, the models are all janky as shit and nothing loads right, and it's just like, no, I don't want to play any of that shit. Cloud version, full download, like, it's just not gonna play right.
Oh, also,
No.
Black Ops Cold War and Final Fantasy VII Remake are on here, with Final Fantasy VII Remake and Bayonetta 3 and Kingdom Hearts all getting demos, apparently. So, see, there are people that are spit this out as fact.
And very excited.
Cyberpunk was hot garbage on a high-end PC. Just wait till you see it on a Switch Pro.
Hey, Cyberpunk on the Switch runs better than it does on the Xbox through Stadia. So I mean,
Hot fucking garbage.
that's what they should do for cloud streaming. They should just pair up with Google and then just make a Stadia app for the Switch. Bring over your third parties that
story,
way.
but I've seen this story pop up recently again where Microsoft offered to buy Nintendo and Nintendo laughed in their faces.
Yep.
So
Yep. All right, and then the B-roll of this real quick. Crash Bandicoot 4, It's About Time, Eastward, Fall Guys, Dirt 5, Yakuza 6, Persona 5 Strikers, Control Ultimate, Fallout 3 New Vegas, Nier Replicant, Dead or Alive 6, Hollow Knight, Silksong, Apex Legends, Plants vs. Zombies, Battle for Neighborville, The Witness, Hitman 3, Man-Eater, Borderlands, Dragon Ball, Kakarot, Baldo, Little Nightmares 2, A Way Out, No More Heroes 3, Bravely Default 2, Monster Hunter Stories 2, Monster Hunter Rise, Xenoblade Chronicles X Definitive Edition, and Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury. All getting B-roll footage. Even though
Mitch, did it actually say Fallout 3 New Vegas?
it does. Fallout 3, New Vegas.
All right.
yep.
And
Two
also,
completely different games,
yeah.
but okay.
And also, closing the show out, the launch title, the big one for the Nintendo Switch Pro, releasing on April 23rd, The Legend of Zelda Echoes of the Past. Which we are going to get into Zelda's 35th anniversary and kind of talk about maybe like what we're expecting to happen out of this. But just know that I don't think this is the name of the game, but I do think that game is coming out this year at some point, and it is going to launch alongside the Switch Pro, but not in April.
If it's a prequel to Breath of the Wild, that's not a bad title.
It's supposed to be a sequel, not a prequel.
I thought it was a prequel.
It's a
prequel.
Oh, Age of Calamity is the prequel. That's right.
It's a non-canon prequel.
Gotcha. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Spoilers, there's time travel, which means it's not canon.
Damn.
But it's a good story so far, though. But yeah. So, I guess we'll go ahead and jump into the big Zelda thing. Like I said, they didn't really do a lot for Mario's 35th anniversary, but there's actually quite a few 35th anniversaries in general. Donkey Kong's 40th anniversary is this year. Zelda's 35th anniversary, Metroid's 35th anniversary, and Pokemon's 25th anniversary are all happening this year. But we're going to just focus on the Zelda one because we'd be here all day speculating on other games, I believe. So, Richard, you and I have been waiting to have this big Zelda tangent, and this is the time. This is when we finally get to do it.
This is it. This is the
until
moment.
we actually get an announcement about it. So let's put it this. Let me do this, and I already know what you're going to say at the beginning of this, but let's say you are in a position to where you get to control how Zelda's 35th anniversary goes. The only thing you're allowed to not do is remake Breath of the Wild with a better story. So,
wow. Well,
so
okay.
So if you're gonna, I'm just kidding. So if you can re-release any games, you can remaster anything. How do you do it?
I would probably on the Switch Online, you've already got like Link to the Past and the original and the sequel, if you want to call that a sequel.
Zelda 2, yeah.
Yeah. So.
And you've already got Link's Awakening as a remake.
Yeah, which that was done really, really well. If you're gonna do something similar to what they did with Mario, which to me was kind of half-ass, I would probably put out, even though it's been put out a lot of times before, Ocarina of Time. Ocarina of Time, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess.
Okay, so follow up with that. Do you put out the original versions or do you put out the remakes? Because Ocarina of Time got remade on the 3DS. And then there's
Well,
Wind
did it
Waker
really get
HD.
remade, or was it just because it still had the same graphics and everything, didn't it?
No, it was a full. That was actually the only one that got completely remade was Ocarina of Time and
Really?
Majora's Mask.
Really?
Twilight
Then
Princess.
the remakes for sure.
Twilight Princess and Wind Waker just got HD texture packs, but with Ocarina and Majora, they actually went back and redid every single texture in the game.
Oh, awesome.
So
Yeah, definitely. You want to give the benefit to the player, or at least I would. So I definitely want to do the remakes. Is what I would do. I forgot about the one with the one that you like,
Majora's
the one
Mask.
with the moon, Majora's Mask.
I think
It doesn't fit in there.
I think Majora's Mask is the black sheep of them, kind of like how they didn't put Mario Galaxy 2 in that collection.
Yeah.
I've heard there've been talks about them potentially adding that on later, but I don't know. Steven, how would you do it?
I don't know because I really didn't play too many Legend of Zelda games. The only ones that I played and completed was Ocarina of Time, Majora's Mask, Phantom Hourglass, and what was that last one? The one they put out on the 3DS.
A Link Between Worlds?
Yes.
That's such
Spirit
a good Zelda game.
Tracks. Oh,
Yeah, Spirit Tracks too. I think that was a DS game.
I forgot about like the Spirit Tracks and the little handheld versions that they put out.
So I would have to go just with what I know. I don't know too much about the storylines on the other stuff, so I'd have to go Phantom Hourglass, and I don't know, maybe with Majora's Mask, even though it's like the black sheep.
Well, I mean,
I just like that storyline better.
to your point though, I mean, if they wanted to, depending on how far they take it, like, you know, Wind Waker and then Phantom Hourglass, Spirit Tracks, they all take place. They're like Spirit Tracks and Phantom Hourglass are sequels to the Wind Waker, use the same art style and everything. If they wanted to, they could go back and rework all of those and release that as a collection where you get all three of that and you get to do the whole story. I've never played Spirit Tracks because I was like, it's just too much. I don't like the whole drawing your boomerang paths. I don't like motion control. I just want like a standard Zelda game.
It was okay. It was okay. It wasn't terrible. It had a story.
Yeah. I mean, I know about the story. It's just, I don't know. All right, Michael. Anything?
I would change it up. I wouldn't do just 3 games. Because I think the first couple games really wouldn't take up a whole lot of space. So I would go really old school. Let's start with the Super Nintendo, Ocarina of Time.
That's in 64.
No, Link to the Past, and then Ocarina of Time, and then Majora's Mask. And I think all 3 of those relatively low space comparatively. And then kind of up the ante, have the Master Quest included with that too.
Mm-hmm.
And even though they've already re-released it with an HD master, I would put Wind Waker on there. Just because still, even with an HD remaster, they did a lot of space-saving kind of things with that game in and of itself. So, again, another relatively small game. And then I would give Skyward Sword a remake.
Mm-hmm.
Give that another fair shake, put, not motion controls on there, or have the option.
What would you price that at? Seeing there's so many games on there.
I would say 70. And then start it out at 70 and then price it down $20 after like another month or so.
And it discontinues on March 31st of 2022. I like all of that. And I'm going to throw like a couple other things that no one's mentioned yet. So first off, do you guys remember on the GameCube they had a disc that came with Zelda 1 and 2 and Ocarina of Time and Majora's Mask and then a demo for the Wind Waker on it?
I got it.
Okay. Yeah. So a new one of those, but it comes with Ocarina, Majora, Wind Waker, and Twilight Princess. They put all that on a disc, $60.
I think I had one more on there. There was like a side-scrolling one, like from like the CDI or something on there.
That's Zelda 2.
Okay.
Zelda 2 is the side-scrolling one. So they put that out, $60. And then a couple months later, they do Skyward Sword HD, like Michael said. And that's like in the first half of the year. Right. And then at some point, they release a remake or a sequel to The Legend of Zelda Four Swords Adventures. So you have a co-op Zelda game.
Four Swords.
I swear, Four Swords, the one on the GameCube where you have to plug your Game Boy Advances into and spend like $300 to get 4 people to play, is like the best co-op Zelda experience.
I mean, and then give it the same graphical remake they gave to Link to the Past.
Yeah.
That'd be nice.
I do, in the back of my head, I think they're going to keep using that art style to like do more so. Like we might, I don't know, it probably won't happen this year, but like if they want to keep putting out a Zelda game, they could just keep remaking the old Game Boy Zelda games like that, so you get Oracle of Seasons
great.
and Ages next year or
And
something.
then
Like that.
it'll be the last character
on
in the Fighter Pass. So we'll have like 8 Zeldas in that.
Yes.
Links.
And then they round out 2020 with Breath of the Wild 2, or whatever it's called. Give you six to 8 Zelda games coming out, and then they could do whatever else.
Yeah, they're not doing that.
Oh, I know.
It's Nintendo. They're not.
I know, but it would just be cool. It's my dream. I run Nintendo now. That's what I want to happen. So, and yeah, they call Ocarina of Time HD instead of 3D, and
Oh, well, if that's the case, then scrap what I said. I'm going to make the Zelda game I always wanted to make, the sequel to Twilight Princess.
ooh.
It is? Yeah, it's an adult game.
Did you know the Twilight
Not
Princess?
adult, but,
Oh.
you know.
Sure.
Did you know that Twilight
Adult
Princess?
themes.
Twilight Princess was
Adult
originally
themes.
a sequel to the Wind Waker.
Fine.
Really?
Yep. They half of the dungeons in Wind Waker got cut and were reused in Twilight Princess.
So we're half the dragons.
Yeah. So they always seem to, because sorry, big Zelda fan here. They were originally making a version of Ocarina of Time that was going to work on the Nintendo 64 disc drive, and then it got cut because of that, and then they reused assets from that to make Wind Waker, and then they reused assets from Wind Waker to make Twilight Princess. But the reason why that they didn't keep the art style was because people thought that Wind Waker was too childish, and they wanted to get the people who bought Ocarina of Time a more mature Zelda game, which is why they went with that art style. And then
Now, do you think any of these games are going to get ported over to the KFC console?
Yeah, you just download Citra or CMU to this thing,
Citra.
and you get your 3DS and your Wii U emulators and your Switch emulators.
And speaking of like KFC coming out with a new console, what are the chances of like these other bigger companies coming out with another gaming console? Like we might have one from Pornhub, and then they'll get a Zelda port, with a full Sword Adventure. Yeah.
I mean, we already in the past year we've gotten a Bud Light console and we've gotten a KFC console. So I mean,
Dude, Walmart can make their own console.
Walmart pretty much good. Yeah.
hey,
Built by On, the OON, or however you say it.
no,
On
no,
console.
no, game on.
It's on now.
There you go, man. They've already got the...
I want to do
Game on.
I want to do a special shout out to the Walmart Canada Twitter page, because they made my favorite tweet of 2021 so far, and it said, "Here's our hopes for 2021: Banjo-Kazooie remake." And I love them. They're now my favorite Twitter account right now, other than the Among Us Twitter people, because they're so wholesome. I love them. Okay, let's jump away from just Nintendo, and we're gonna just talk about.
No, wait. Hold
Okay.
on.
Yeah,
Sorry.
The tangent hasn't gone on long enough.
Yeah, it hasn't. I'm gonna stall it again.
Go for
I
it.
don't. I know this technically doesn't make sense because the series is called Legend of Zelda, but like I'm so sick of Zelda. What I would like to see, and it's like they've done this before, because Majora's Mask, I mean, is very similar. It's just too kiddie for me. I want to see an adventure with adult Link that takes place after this epic story
Where
of
he becomes
whatever
a father.
that he's done. No, man,
Retires
I've always
his progeny.
seen Link as a pirate.
The,
Throw a
the
beard
Legend
on
of
it
Zelda
with
Black
braids.
Flag.
Yeah, something like that, dude.
So
Link's
like
a
Wind
pirate,
Waker
man.
2, yeah, where it's
Yeah,
basically,
but, you know, he's grown.
Yeah,
He's
on
got
the
kind of
ocean.
a
but then
Jack
he's got this
Sparrow thing
axe that he
going
can
on.
throw and returns to him. Yeah.
yeah. Let's do that too. This is an amazing concept.
Oh god,
I'm with it.
Nintendo's
I'm
gonna
with it.
steal it from us.
And then
Like,
we
I
put
get it though, like an adultier Link, like a more haggard, he has to go through some shit again.
He's
Link.
been through some stuff, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then he finds Midna, who's God so much better than Zelda ever was. I hate Zelda. I'm gonna be honest, I really do.
And then
Or
he
you
goes
know
to
what?
the future and
A
it's
real
thick
game
Midna
changer.
with them thunder thighs.
A real game changer.
I wasn't
next-
hearing anything Michael said until I got to Thunder Thighs.
The next Legend of Zelda, you play as Ganondorf.
Oh, so Hyrule Warriors?
No, I'm not.
It's
I'm
not
talking
the
about something that's
same.
good, man. Like it's got like
You've never
like
played
an epic
Hyrule Warriors before.
story with. No, I have. It's like the old Star Wars Battlefield, but with Zelda characters.
No, but like halfway through the campaign, you take control of Ganondorf and you have Girahim and Zant on your side, and it's so cool. You get to play as the villains.
Yeah, but it's not. I want like a scripted story epic. I don't want some Star Wars Battlefront style stuff. I want epic. I want God of War, but Legend of Zelda and playing as Ganondorf. There
And
we go.
actually Zelda.
That's a hell of a stretch.
It would be epic. It would be awesome.
How would you feel
We don't
about?
get to. We don't get to play as bad guys enough. We never do.
Oh yeah, no, I'm totally here for it. But I love Ganondorf's one of my favorite video game characters of all time. You give me a game where I can play as him, you're like, hey, it's $100, sold, I'll buy it.
Wow.
Just saying, Ganondorf's one of my favorite characters of all time. I do. There is a really nice rumor that the Breath of the Wild 2 is actually going to have co-op because of the way that they've restyled Zelda, because like with their hair being cut and everything, that the game might actually feature co-op.
Because her hair's cut?
It's another tangent,
okay.
but it's just
All right.
just the way that they've remodeled Zelda and kind of made her like at the forefront of all the trailers.
Oh my
and
god.
everything.
If you cut Zelda's hair, it's going to look like Link.
Yeah, exactly. That's why everybody thinks that she's going to be playable. So
I don't know. I mean, they are interchangeable. I don't know if there's some suggestive Legend of Zelda art out there that.
Yeah.
we don't have to
Yeah.
talk about
Little
it.
Alabama swinging sounds in the background where they look the same.
Yeah, there's some odd stuff, and Ganondorf is the man.
Ruh-roh Raggy.
Got a broadsword he's bringing.
Yeah. Okay, let's jump to the next thing before Michael.
Mitch really wants to leave now.
It's a two-hander.
Before Michael ruled 30. He did it. I was trying to get out before Michael ruled 34 Zelda,
That's what
but
she said.
he did it. He did it. All right. I have the next on here a big list of games that are coming out, and I just want to hear what you guys have to think about them. We're only going to talk about the games in the first quarter of 2021 because there's a lot of games on here. We're already running out of time. So, January, the big games coming out. Let's see. Scott Pilgrim versus the World, the game, the complete edition.
Yes.
Steven
I'm here
and Michael,
for it.
very happy for Scott Pilgrim.
That really
return.
pisses me
I
off.
never really had a chance. Like, I've played it with a few friends, but I never had a chance to actually buy it for myself. So, yeah, I'm finally happy to have that chance to own something like that.
I have it on the 360 before they took it off, and it's still on my 360. And I
Right.
actually had a cousin drive all the way down from Indianapolis just to play it one weekend. And I had something special, and now fucking anybody can have it, and it's not fair.
Just tell him he's not allowed to buy it. Solve all your problems.
Come from miles around, play my copy.
Yep. Okay. Hitman 3 coming out this month, and The Medium, I'd say the first official big Xbox Series X exclusive game, and it's a big old spooky game. They've had
Big old spook.
people made. Who was it? They made what? Alan Wake and who? It's Blooper Games. I just can't remember what else they've made, but February we got Werewolf the Apocalypse, Earthblood, the Neo Collection, Little Nightmares 2, Persona 5 Strikers, and honestly the one I'm most excited for, Destruction All Stars, which is a free PS5 game. If you guys remember Destruction All
It's
Stars.
going to be awesome, but Little Nightmares 2 is going to take February.
Yep.
Yes.
That's going to be epic.
Yep. And then March we've got Prince of Persia: The Sands of Time remake, which please nobody buy that.
I'm going to.
Make them understand that they made a bad port and they need to do it again. Returnal, Balan Wonder World, and Disco Elysium: The Final Cut.
I want to get that. That looks interesting.
Are you gonna get Returnal?
The Disco Elysium, no. But Disco Elysium does look really good.
Yeah, I there isn't really anything for me on this list other than the medium. It's actually already preloaded on my Xbox. I just can't play it for another 20 days.
You left out Ghost and Goblins Resurgence or whatever in February.
It's not on my list. Oh, I'm sorry. They have this broken up by console. Okay, hold up. Run it back. January, Nintendo Switch. Yeah.
I mean,
different.
There's really nothing to...
February Nintendo Switch is a little different. They've got Super Mario 3D World plus Bowser's Fury, Ghosts and Goblins Resurrection, and Bravely Default 2 on there. Are y'all going to get Super Mario 3D World again? Did you play it on Wii U, or are you going to buy it again? Because I am.
Why?
It's fun.
I'm going to be honest, I'm probably am going to get it, but I'm not going to get it the day it comes out.
It's so much fun.
Yeah.
They're adding online multiplayer to it. So
is that the Bowser's Fury part?
No, but that's its own separate thing. But
okay.
It's a whole side story, and I'm pretty sure that you're gonna get to play as Bowser. But the whole Super Mario 3D World, that game was so much fun, especially with 4 people and you're just pissing each other off. It's like a Mario Party game on a timer. you have a point A and a point B, and your whole goal is to get there faster and funnier than everybody else, and you're just
okay.
Love it. And then in March, Monster Hunter Rise is the only really big one. Are y'all Monster Hunter fans, or is that a different group of people?
I still am. Yeah, I haven't played it in a bit, but I still am. I don't think I would buy it for any sort of Nintendo Switch console, but
no.
If I didn't have the choice, I would pick it up.
And yeah, that's actually all of the really big games. As of now, I'm expecting sometime this month or February we're going to get an actual Nintendo Direct that has nothing to do with that one we talked about earlier. But, could be wrong. All right, and the last little bit of news, I spent a lot of time talking on it, but Xbox recently put out a survey asking people if the new Xbox controllers should adopt features of the PlayStation 5 DualSense controller. So, Steven, would you, as an Xbox player, like to have Series X controllers that adopt DualSense features?
In my eyes, no. Here's why. Xbox has their thing. Sony has their thing. Nintendo has their thing. In some people's eyes that I talk to, namely my nephew and some of his friends, it's kind of like PS5's controllers bread and butter. And I understand adapting new concepts or other concepts from other consoles could help bring in the money and everything. But for them to put out a survey on something like that, it kind of makes them look desperate in my eyes over something not necessarily trivial, but something they don't actually need. I mean, they have to think about it. They've already got to worry about their games. They got to worry about this whole fiasco patch with Cyberpunk, even though, that's the company they have to worry about. But, it's still under their shit. They got other things to worry about than asking people, hey, do you want the, what is it, like the Sense Pad that's in the middle of the PS5 controller?
It's not about the touchpad. It's more about like the haptic triggers and like the actual, I don't know what it's called, but it's like the better rumble in the DualSense and stuff like that.
Dude, it's amazing.
I look, I got the opportunity to finally see a PS5 in person, and I watched somebody play Spider-Man. They said, "Do you want to play this?" And I was like, "No, I'm gonna wait. I want to wait till it's mine to play it." Like it took everything I had to not pick up that controller and go, "Whoa!" But no, I waited. Okay, Now let's get from the other side of this. Sorry, Richard. Do you think that Xbox should, and I guess in lack of a better term, steal DualSense ideas and use it as their own?
I mean, why not? I mean, they're accustomed to standing on other people's shoulders. I mean, if they can't make great games, they buy the studio. So, I mean, I wouldn't put it past them. I mean, if there's a shortcut to success, then they'll take it.
I would like to briefly examine 2008 when Sony came out with the PlayStation Move.
Oh God, the Move was terrible though.
Okay,
They didn't steal that from anybody. They just. I don't even know why.
You cannot tell me that they didn't steal that from Nintendo. They were like,
we still have like the same damn little controller with a ball on it.
It's the same, yeah.
From way back then.
It's the same thing.
No, I don't. I wish they hadn't have, though. That was a bad idea. That, Nintendo came along and they did their thing, and then Xbox did it too. They had to Connect, which is just as stupid.
It is okay. Look, it is stupid, but it did not involve having wand controllers that look just like Wii remotes. You use your whole body.
It's weird.
Yeah. So.
But to what Steven was saying though. Why am I holding this USB cord? To what?
I was wondering too, but I mean,
they need to have their own thing. I mean, we don't have to do a carbon copy of what's popular on another system just to turn heads and stuff like that. Let people have their own thing. Let Nintendo have their weird, flunky motion control crap, and then let Xbox have their daddy's bank account, and let Sony have their haptic controllers. I mean, they all have their own little niche appeal, so let them have it.
Sony's going to come out with some kind of cardboard accessory for the PS.
PS Pablo.
Yeah. Yeah.
Man, what happened to that? That just failed and fell on its face.
I mean, no, they made 4 of those kit things, but yeah, they started going for pennies on the dollar, and I bought.
I was about to say that they made 4 of them. They probably sold double that.
No, it's crazy. That robot kit launched at it was $80, and then I was with David one day at the Walmart up in Franklin, Kentucky, and it was $15. So I bought 3 of them. I bought one for me, I bought one for David, and I bought one for Craig. And
wow.
Yeah, it was great. And we built that.
Michael's feeling left out. He's like, wow,
I asked everyone in the group chat, did anybody want a Labo kit? And the only people that responded back were David. Well, David was with me, and then Craig. So, and then David and I had spent 4 hours building my robot kit, and then we played with it in the living room of his house for 15 minutes, and then I went home and it sat in my closet for a year and a half until I finally threw it away at the beginning of last year.
Damn.
So, big rip. Okay. Yeah. Let's go ahead and start closing down for this wonderful episode. It's so good to see y'all's bright faces again. I wanted to quickly talk about the games. We took a week off, and then we had a Christmas episode that was kind of off the rails a little bit, but just want to kind of see what kind of games y'all been playing. What you get over Christmas? Have you been playing anything new, or still playing a lot of the old stuff? We'll start with Steven.
I've been playing Cyberpunk and Stardew Valley. I need that mixture. I've got to take better health precautions on my end, and playing high suspense games and shooting games and things like that apparently isn't good for me. So I've got to have that chaser to mix with that. And Stardew Valley has really pulled through for me. I'm surprised. I watched some gameplay on it. I was like, this is not my cup of tea. But I downloaded it anyway, and dare I say, it's more relaxing than Minecraft.
Oh, wow.
Mm-hmm. But I've been playing that and Apex Legends and a little bit of Rainbow Six, but that's pretty much it.
Okay. Richard?
Man, I've been all across the board. I've been playing Animal Crossing again. I've been playing a Horizon Chase, which started out as a mobile game. It's like a kickback to the old racers, like from the 80s and 90s. I've been playing that. I've been playing the Mario Brothers U, that deluxe thing that they did. I've been playing that on the Switch. I've been playing the Switch actually quite a bit. And then I've been dabbling with Let It Die. I've still been playing Immortals. I've started Like a Dragon. I'm all over the place, man. I'm playing everything.
Wow.
I need to zone in and focus on something. But Steven, check out a game called Graveyard Keeper if you like Stardew Valley. Yeah, Graveyard Keeper.
The only game I heard you didn't mention, which is the one you should be playing, is Fire Emblem Three Houses.
Yeah, I have it. I got it. It's in my Switch case, so it's on the docket. So,
but not in the dock. So I need you to
it's
get on.
not
that.
in the dock though. It's not in the dock.
I'm
obsessed with getting the 3 coins in every level of Mario, which I swear I think I've done it before on the Wii U, but I don't know. I don't have my Wii U now, so.
After that, your next step is just to buy Mario Maker, so you just make the whole game again.
Yeah.
But
I came close to buying it. I really did, but then I was like, anytime. Because what was that the PlayStation has where you can make your own games and
Dreams?
stuff like that? With Dreams? Yeah, I bought Dreams and I played with it for about a week and I didn't touch it.
I love making like the trolliest levels in Mario Maker. It's just, but there's a whole like sub meta to that, like figuring out like how to do like
recently
frame perfect
come out
stuff.
with what was it, RPG Maker for one of the recent consoles. I thought it was either the Switch or PlayStation.
I think RPG Maker did come out on the Switch.
Yeah.
So, Michael, what you been playing?
Mainly Genshin. I can't stop. I've beat all the new content. I've booted up. What is it? Spellbreak again. They had some free skins to get, so I got the PlayStation skin. I got some other skin. I've just been playing that. They're supposed to be coming out with another element pretty soon. And some mobile games. I downloaded Battle Cats, so that's kind of goofy and fun. I don't earn cats as fast as I would like, but whatever. They're cats. And some matching games. Tinder, OkCupid. Mainly, you just have to swipe left or right, and then eventually you'll win.
That went halfway over my head.
Oh man, that's funny. That's funny. Well, what have I been playing? I know I started playing more Cyberpunk until my computer decided to crap out on me. I finally started Hyrule Warriors Age of Calamity. I've done like 3 missions in there. And I've spent most of my time, especially since my computer's been dead, playing Pokemon Go. So that game has somehow constantly been on every device I've owned in the past, I guess, almost 5 years that game's been out. And out of the entire time I've been playing it religiously, and I've only leveled up 1 time, and that was yesterday. And I've been, like I said, playing like crazy for the past week and a half, and I'm really upset that in all that time I've only leveled up once. But that's just how it is. So, but we're going to end. Before plugging our socials, though, we're going to start a new bit on the show. It's just going to be our new Next Gen Newsweek trivia section. And it does not necessarily mean that the questions are going to be about Next Gen systems, though, because this question that I have for you guys is going to be running it back to a time when I was just a wee baby, but you guys are a little older than me. If you want to submit questions for the trivia, make sure they're multiple choice questions. You can send them to us on the Next Gen Newsweek Twitter or Instagram, or you can just DM me directly on Twitter at BeachFlow. But this first question is going to test your hip hop knowledge from the 1990s. What 1990s hip hop artist was the first to release a video game in 1999 on the PlayStation 1? Your options are Jay-Z, Wu-Tang Clan, Snoop Dogg, and Eminem. We'll start with
What?
what?
What was the question?
What 1990s hip hop artist was the first to release a video game in 1999 on the PlayStation
Okay.
1? Jay-Z, Wu-Tang Clan, Snoop Dogg, or Eminem? And we're going to start with Steven, since he is our local musician.
Oh, okay. I thought you were starting with me for some other reason.
No, no.
I want to say it was Eminem, but that just feels wrong. Let's go with Wu-Tang Clan.
Okay. Richard.
I feel like it's between Wu-Tang Clan and Snoop, but I think Snoop is an Xbox guy. So I'm going to go with Wu-Tang Clan as well.
And
I
Michael.
would think it would be between Wu-Tang Clan and Jay-Z. And yeah, I feel like Wu-Tang Clan is it. Yeah, we're all Wu-Tang Clan.
All right. Well, for the
We're
first
all wrong.
for the first episode or first round of Next Gen Newsweek trivia, you are all correct.
Oh, yeah.
The first game was Wu-Tang Shaolin Style for the PlayStation 1.
Oh
It was
my
a
God.
fighting game published by Activision, and the first review for it on Google says it's a lame cash grab. The original game was thrill kill due to EA's wonderful decision making, blah blah blah. Axe Studio and Wu-Tang made a ripoff of it. So, 8 out of 10 on IGN.com.
You know what was not a cash grab that sucked that they desperately need to bring back, and that's fucking Def Jam. Def Jam Vendetta and fight. Oh my god!
Yes.
those were
See, when they
awesome.
came out with Icon, like they switched up the whole concept. It was a good pitch.
I
with
don't think
Icon.
I played Icon.
And with Icon, it was basically it was pretty much true to form the way that they were fighting. And you had to do a certain move set. I believe on the Xbox it was left trigger and the right analog. If you were first player, you had to rotate it counterclockwise after knocking them down to get it to start playing your music, and you gained momentum. Your attacks were harder. And if you got knocked down and they decided to switch up the momentum, they would do the left trigger and clockwise, and it would start playing the character's music that you're playing with for momentum. The only thing that I feel like really killed that game, the storyline was lackluster. You didn't have a health bar. It was one of those things to where when you're playing on the screen and your health deteriorates, the hue and the color of the screen changes.
Gotcha.
It made it harder to use environmental weapons. And with the screen changing like that, they can throw anybody's game off. And your health didn't regenerate. So, of course, you're stuck with that hue, that orange, and then it goes into red. And then it goes into like a white, and then you're knocked out. So it was like a lot of disorienting factors that like killed that game.
There's three of them, right?
Yeah, it's V for Vendetta, Fight for New York, and Icon.
Yeah, I never played Icon. That's the only one I didn't play.
I honestly don't think it's worth it.
Really?
Fight for New York was like the best one that came.
Yes, it was. God, I'd love to see that again.
All right. Well, we are done for this. So everybody, you know what to do. Plug your social medias and your projects and anything else you're working on or anything else you'd like to share. And we'll follow up with you next week on it. So, Richard, start us off.
New video this week. We're doing the board game Night of the Living Dead by CMON Games. So it's the first video of the new year. It will be up on Friday.
Nice.
Where's that at, Richard?
Oh, I guess I should say. Board
should.
Game Breakdown TV. You can find me on Facebook and YouTube.
All right. Steven.
I am going to hit Twitch and YouTube with a bang. Twitch and YouTube is going to be the same as the breaks with the Z. It's just basically going to be edited Twitch streams. I'm still trying to work out some kinks with editing. I think I want to do a voiceover. I'm not really sure. But by the time this video comes up, I'll have my new character on Cyberpunk streamed already on Friday. Um, Depends on what time you drop the video on Friday. I'm not sure, but yeah. And then I think I'm gonna start working on some music as well because my schedule is getting ready to dramatically free up. Um, so in February, I'll be working on music too. SoundCloud is Breaker Beats 2020. You can find me on there. So come check me out.
Are you going to change it to Breaker Beats 2021?
I dare not. I think that's a jinx. I think something's going to happen. I'm going to get shadow banned, and there we go. All their progress gone.
All right. Michael, what you got?
Unsolicited nudes, we're still going pretty strong. We're really close to 200 members, so if you know any family or friends that just love nudes, be sure to share that group. We've been seeing some over on Open Box Tech Deals. We've been seeing a lot of open box deals, like literally open box deals on laptops. So, but be sure to kind of gauge it with the new versions, if new versions are on sale, because you can find a lot of basically the same laptop on sale for the exact same price or cheaper than an open box deal. So be sure to check that out and make sure the listings are from like the actual website themselves and not third-party sellers. Depending on where you're shopping at, like Newegg will have like the same laptop with just different specs from third-party resellers because they're repackaging them with like upgraded RAM or upgraded hard drive on the laptop, and then they're just repackaging that and reselling it. So be careful what you're buying. But, I mean, there's still deals to be had for sure.
Yeah.
And thinking about opening a Redbubble myself, so be sure to keep your peepers out for some merch.
Word.
Nice.
All right. Well, if you want to find anything that I'm doing, Twitch and Twitter at MeechFlow, and to kind of go like what Michael's talking about, I have Redbubble shop where you can see all my cool designs. Just go on Google. There will be a link in the description, but you can just go to Google and type in MeechFlow for Redbubble, and it'll my designs will pop up on there. I'm gonna hopefully, now that my computer's fixed, start getting some more fancy schmancy stuff out there. It probably won't be as funny as Michael's stuff because Michael's he's way better at being funny than I am. And then just make sure that you're following the podcast on Twitter. That's where I always post updates about the shows. I know Steven has a group chat with his friends and family that weren't able to. They didn't know we weren't doing a live show this week, but if you follow us on there, you get updates all the time. And occasionally, if gaming news breaks when I'm on Twitter and I see it there first, I'll always try to retweet it so you can actually catch up with lots of headlines and maybe stuff we don't actually even get to in one of these episodes. There's plenty of stuff on there, though, but you'll always catch updates, and I always post there first. So Twitter, at NGNW Podcast, or you can tweet at me directly or follow me or any. I think everyone here has got a Twitter in some capacity. I know Richard doesn't use his, but he's got one. So you can,
I don't even know what the lock-in is, but I do know I have one.
But all of our Twitter handles and everything, they're in the description. Michael's stuff, everybody's stuff is in the description of this video if you need to find any of that stuff. But we will see you next week for another exciting episode of the World of Gaming. But until then, have a good week.
Later.
Bye, guys. This week's podcast is brought to you by body armor with the nipples molded in, because you know you need that.
Do I need that?
Batman does.
I'm sure you need it.
Batman does.